The second thing you must never share is the specific practices or methods that worked for you now. This might sound contradictory. Surely if something worked for you, wouldn't it be helpful to tell others? But here's the trick: what worked for you worked because it was right for you at that particular moment in your life. It fit your temperament, your situation, your particular flavor of confusion. Imagine you have a headache and you take a certain medicine and the headache goes away. Does this mean everyone with a headache should take that same medicine? Of course. Not. One person's headache might be from tension, others from lack of sleep, and others from dehydration. The same medicine won't work for all of them. In fact, it might harm some of them. Spiritual practices are exactly like this. What brings one person to clarity might trap another person in technique. I might sit quietly and watch my breath, and in that watching suddenly see through the illusion of the separate self. But if I tell you you must sit and watch your breath, you might spend years sitting and watching and getting absolutely nowhere, because your particular knot is different from mine. There was a student who came to his teacher and said, "Master, I've been meditating for 5 years, just as you instructed, and I still haven't had any awakening." The teacher laughed and said, "Perhaps you should stop meditating." The student was shocked. "But you told me to meditate." "Yes," said the teacher, "and now I'm telling you to stop." You've turned meditation into another form of striving, another way of trying to become something you think you're not. Stop trying to be awakened and see if you're not already awake. You see, the moment you give someone a method, they turn it into a goal. They think, if I do this, practice correctly, I will achieve enlightenment, and now they're further from awakening than when they started, because they've created a future moment when they imagine they'll be complete. But awakening is not in the future, it's only now. It's seeing what's already here, not creating something new. The third thing you must never share are your insights about other people. When you wake up, one of the things that happens is you begin to see people very clearly. You see through their masks, their pretenses, their games. You can see when someone is operating from fear, when they're defending an image, when they're lost in their own story. And there's a tremendous temptation to help them by pointing this out. But this is almost always a mistake. Why? Because people are not ready to see themselves until they're ready. And when they're ready, they'll see it themselves. They don't need you to tell them. In fact, if you tell them before they're ready, you'll only create resistance and resentment. Think about it this way. Suppose you see a butterfly struggling to emerge from its cocoon. You think, "Oh, I can't help, I'll cut open the cocoon and free the butterfly." But if you do this, the butterfly will die. If you want to explore the wisdom of awakening, you should grab a copy of Don't Believe Every Thought You Have by Matthew Allen right now. He's a spiritual teacher with years of Zen practice, and he explains it in the most straightforward way. Awakening isn't complicated. It begins the moment you stop believing every single thought you have. This book has been quietly passed around in certain circles because it can genuinely change a person. There's a promo happening now on TikTok Shop. The link's below. Don't wait until your inner overthinking gets the better of you and you wish you had read it sooner.